Hey guys, so this video needs no introduction. This is my updated makeup collection. I downsized it a lot, so I wanted to show you what I'm currently working with. So as you guys know from past videos, this drawer system is from IKEA. They're the Alex drawers, and in this first drawer right here, I have all my blushes and bronzers. The one thing that I really don't like about these drawers is that they don't pull out far enough, so you can't use all this space in the back, and they're super squeaky and noisy. Now, in the back section of this drawer, I have these little dividers from the Container Store. This back portion holds my blush, and this top portion holds my bronzers. So I kind of have my blush organized by like the more peachy toned blushes. A lot of these are discontinued by this point. And I kind of have them go more to the pink corals, to more of like the purple undertone pinks. And then in the back over here I have some high-end designer blushes, like this one by Tom Ford, which is not the best quality, so I don't use it, but I can't get myself to give it away. And same thing with this one from Chanel. It's just so overly perfumed that I just don't really use it. It's also a very similar shade to Milani Luminoso, so I just use this one when I want to use that color blush, but I do love the compact, so I keep it. Now in this front section I have all my bronzers, and I have my warmer tone bronzers, cooler tone bronzers, and then we have more of our like contouring shades, and then these are the colors that are a little bit deeper that I use in the summertime. And I actually just cleaned the compact of my NARS Laguna bronzer the other day, and it got so sticky and gross, like it's nasty. I don't know what to do now, but it was almost empty anyways, so I guess I'm just going to buy a new one. But that's just so gross that you can't clean the packaging without it getting nasty. But a few of my favorite bronzers are this one by Burberry. This one is in shade 4 Summer Glow. I love this bronzer. I also really like this Laura Mercier for contouring. This is in the shade Soleil 1. And then, of course, you have this classic by Too Faced. This is the Milk Chocolate. Such a good bronzer. I love it so much. And then I got this. This is the little mini version of the Kat Von D Shade Light palette. Now, I used to love this contour palette when it first came out, so I got the mini of just the shades that I would use all the time. And I actually have found myself only reaching for it once or twice. So it's interesting how my choices of reached for products have changed, but this blush palette is still one of my all-time favorites, and I know that they make new versions of this all the time, but I love taking this with me on vacation, especially because it has everything that I need in one place. And that's everything in this drawer. My second drawer is home to all of my setting powders and my highlight palettes and just individual highlighters. I don't have too many. I have the Becca and Jaclyn Hill highlight palette that came out years ago. I don't really use it, but it was such an iconic purchase for me. This palette is just so beautiful. The packaging is stunning. I love how big the mirror is in here, and it is something that I would take with me on vacation. I just don't find myself reaching for it on the day-to-day. My most used highlighter is this one right here from Dose of Colors. This was the collaboration with Desi and Katie in the shade Mirame. And I just love how the color looks on my skin tone in particular. So this is my most grabbed highlighter. And then after that one, I have to say that this glow kit from Glam Glow, I love to mix all 3 shades together, and it's just such a stunning highlighter. Oh my god. And then one of my favorite contouring palettes is this one by Tarte. I don't know if they even make this anymore, but this is the Don't Be Afraid to Dazzle palette. And these 2 shades in here are just perfect. This is the perfect undertone for contouring, and then this highlighter is just so subtle, melts into the skin. You can't really even tell that you're wearing highlighter, but it just gives a beautiful natural glow to the skin. It's just stunning. And I do need to buy a new one of this. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Sculpt in Bronze, and I really want to buy a new one, but it's so expensive, and I never use the highlighter, but I love the bronzer, so I don't know what to do about that. I wish she sold it individually. And this is also one of my favorite highlighters ever. I just love the packaging on this so much. This is by Dior. This is shade number 1. Oh my god, the formula of these highlighters is so beautiful. It just looks amazing on the skin. And then for setting powders, I always use my Laura Mercier Translucent Loose, and this is the Secret Brightening Powder. This one by Charlotte Tilbury is beautiful. This is like the flawless finish, but I find that it oxidizes the color once you use it, so I don't use it as often anymore because it's not a translucent color. It does add a little bit of coverage. And then I love this one by Hourglass. This is the Veil Setting Powder. And then occasionally, if I want to add some glow to the skin, I'll use this pressed Candle Glow powder in shade number 3 to just kind of dust around the perimeter of my skin because it adds a little bit of a bronzy glow. And that's pretty much it for my most grabbed products in my highlighter and setting powder drawer. Next up, we have my concealers, my foundation, and my primers, and you guys can see that this drawer doesn't pull all the way out, so I kind of have to reach back for the stuff in the back. But those are also products that I don't use on the day-to-day basis. These are more primers back here and darker shades of foundations that I'm currently not a match for. But my most grabbed foundations from here are my Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Longwear Foundation. I'm in the shade 3N2 Honey. I love this foundation. It's matte and it's great for events. I love it. It doesn't look too heavy either. And then my YSL Touche Éclat. This is in the shade BD40, and I also have BD60 for the summer. And then I also grab this one all the time. This is the Too Faced Peach Perfect in the shade Natural Beige. For most used concealers, I use this one all the time. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and this is in the shade Medium Light Neutral. And I love using this concealer on days that I'm not wearing any other makeup on the face. I'm just using that. And then I will also use my Too Faced Born This Way concealer on days that I'm not wearing a full face of foundation. I just want to spot conceal. I have it in 2 shades depending on what shade I am at that time of year. I have Natural Beige and Light Beige, and these look great over foundation as well. So these are like a multi-purpose for me. And then I have a few of the new Laura Mercier primers, but I haven't had a chance to really play around with them too much yet, just because I don't wear primers often anymore because I don't really wear foundation that often anymore. So this is my primer section. The one that I really reach for when I'm getting ready for events is this one by Guerlain. This is the L'Or primer with the gold flakes in it, and I just think that it just gives such a beautiful radiant look to the skin while also hydrating it and not making your skin too oily. And then if I'm feeling like my pores around my nose are a little bit larger that day and I need to fill them in, I will always grab this one by Tarte. This is the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer, and a little bit goes a long way with this guy. Love it. And then cream bronzer is always this guy right here. This is the Soleil Tan by Chanel. And again, a little bit goes a long way. It's such a beautiful natural bronze. And then for setting sprays and things, I have a few over here. I love using the Smashbox Love Ritual. This is the Photo Finish Primer Water in Jasmine Rose. I like to use this as a first step or when I'm blending out concealer. Evian also when my skin's feeling a little bit drier and I just need a spray pick-me-up. And then I don't use this as much anymore. I used to use this a lot, but this is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 Replenishing and Setting Spray. But my favorite setting spray for long nights, wedding events, that kind of thing that you're going to be out all night long dancing, sweating, is this one right here, Urban Decay De-Slick Makeup Setting Spray for oil control. This one makes your makeup literally bulletproof all night long. This drawer right here is a fun one. It's kind of like my lipsticks and then carryover of what doesn't fit in the upper drawers. These are palettes that I have that I love, but I just can't seem to get rid of, and they're not palettes that I use all the time. But this is the Urban Decay Electric palette. I feel like this is important to keep in my collection. And then this beautiful palette from Makeup Forever. I just never reached for these colors ever, and I found these eyeshadows, contrary to everybody else's opinion, pretty hard to work with. So now I keep it because it's such a beautiful palette, but I don't get much use out of it. And then this was my first purchase of the Shade Light palette. I kind of beat it to death and I refuse to get rid of it because I love it so much. And then the packaging on this NARS palette is absolutely stunning. This was a holiday palette years and years and years ago, and this is actually the purchase that made me VIB Rouge for the first time ever. So I hold on to it for memories. So the way that I have this drawer set up is I have all my glosses over here, all my lip liners here, all of my bolder lipstick colors here, like black and like super dark colors. Then I have my eyeliners here and my glitters, and then this whole front section are my most used lipsticks, and these are nudes on this side and then bolder colors over here. Now I don't use lipstick too often, but most of the time I grab these guys. These are the Bare Minerals liquid lipsticks. I have a few shades of these. These are the most comfortable lipsticks for me personally, so I tend to grab those most of the time. Moving on to my next set of drawers, this top drawer right here has all of my eyeshadow palettes, eyebrow products, mascaras, and then just like random other eye products over here. So I have like my lash curler, some random ColourPop eyeshadows, then my singles palette from Makeup Geek is up here, this holiday palette from Too Faced, which actually has some pretty colors in here. I just don't love the packaging, it's kind of excessive. And then my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palettes back there. And then on this side of the drawer, I have my Natasha Denona Camel palette, which I reach for all the time. This is like one of my favorite palettes ever. Again, my most used palette is this one right here, Desi and Katie Dose of Colors. Oh my god, this palette is insane. I literally use it all the time for everything. It's, I don't know, the eyeshadow quality is amazing, the blendability is amazing. Everything about it is just unmeasurable. And then I have 3 Too Faced palettes. I have the original chocolate bar, I have the chocolate bonbon, and I have the sweet peach. This is also one of my favorites. And then I have this palette from Ish, I'm Smokin' Hot. And this is a great palette for just like a classic smoky eye. I love it. I don't really see the purpose of this purple at all, but the other shades are perfect and great quality shadows. Then for a bit of fun, I have my Artist Couture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I used to use this palette all the time. It was so much fun to use. Then I have the Modern Renaissance palette, which was also another great palette by them. And again, I used to use this all the time as well. Just great colors in here. The Lorac Pro palette was my first eyeshadow palette ever, and it's like been beaten to absolute death, and I will never get rid of it. And then the last palette is the Naturally Pretty palette by It Cosmetics, and I like this one because it has a lot of cool tones in here, which I don't really have too many of in other palettes. So that's it for this drawer. Moving down. In my second drawer, I keep all of my eyeshadow brushes. So in this first little section right here, I keep all of my liquid brushes that I use on a day-to-day basis. I have my powder brushes in the center, and then all my eyeshadow brushes are out here. And then in the back over here, I have tons of other foundation brushes and just big fluffy brushes for when brushes get dirty and I don't feel like cleaning them right away. I can grab some clean ones from the back. And that is it. So as you guys can see, I downsized my collection a lot. I kind of went through my makeup collection a bunch of times and took everything out that I don't use on a day-to-day basis, or I don't see a purpose for them in the future or for some different kind of event here and there. I spread the wealth amongst a lot of family and friends because obviously most of the products were used, and then anytime that I get sent product that I'm not using, I'll gift it to people as well. But I don't get sent enough to donate anywhere else. I get sent like some stuff here and there. If there are any products that you guys use that you didn't see in my collection and you think that I'm missing out, please let me know in the comment section below, because I do want to get 1 or 2 new things just because I haven't bought anything new in so long. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.